All right, so go ahead and open up to page 36. No, actually, 37. All right, we've got some new words here that you're going to probably want to put in your notes.
Justin, I'm going to kind of lick off your chair. Oh, will you pick that up for me? I just dropped it in your chair.
We have common multiples and common factors. So, a common multiple, what is that? What do you guys think just from hearing hearing the name common multiple? Any ideas? What's a common multiple? All right, then I'll explain it to you. If we've got the multiples of 20 right here, multiples of 20 are 20, 40, 60, 80, 100, 120, 140, 160, 180. The multiples of 30 are 30, 60, 90, 120, 150, 180. Okay, so those are the list of multiples, right? The ones that they have in common, the ones that are on both lists, are a common multiple. All right? So as we look through this list right here, our multiples of 20 and our multiples of 30, let me go ahead and zoom in that so that we can see it a little bit better. Which ones do we have in common? Which ones are on both lists? Yes? Okay, we got a 60 here. We've also got a 60 here, right? What else have we got? Yes?
120.
120. There's a 120 there, and there's a 120 there. Okay, what else do we have? Yes? 180. And a 180 right there, and a 180 right there. Could there be more common multiples?
Yep.
Yeah. Is there a limit to how many common multiples we can have?
Yep.
No. Because multiples just keep getting bigger and bigger and bigger. We can keep multiplying by higher and higher numbers, right?
Mm-hmm.
And so as you're doing this, you find your common multiples. All right? Now, our least common multiple is the lowest one that they have in common. And this is something that we might need to do, may need to use for different reasons. And we'll get to those kind of as we move along. Next term that we need to talk about is a common factor. Like a common multiple, common factors are the numbers that they've got in common as far as their factors. So, for instance, the factors of 12, we have 1, 2, 3, 4, 6, and 12.
Ah, scary ghost.
Stop it.
You see that? The ghost did that. It was the ghost.
All right. So, our common factors, or our factors of 30, are 1, 2, 3, 5, 6, 10, 15, and 30. So, the factors that they have in common are what? What have we got that they've got in common? Yes?
1, 2, and 3.
Okay, 1, 2, and 3 are on both lists. Is there anything else? Yes? 6. Okay, so those are common factors. If it's a if the factor is on both of the lists, then that's a common factor. Okay, so I want you to turn to your neighbor right now, and I want you to explain to them what is a common multiple and what is a common factor. Ready, go.
A common multiple is like, yeah, it's the one that comes in like it has it in both lists or whatever. And then a common factor is like,
It's something weird.
okay.
It's a common factor. I wasn't really listening. I was listening.
This one has to be logged on usually.
Devin was staring at me
Hi, Justin.
Wednesday?
Oh. So, anyway.
Can they hear us on that?
Yeah.
Peace. Okay, I'm not.
And anyway, I'm taping her.
I'll go ahead and restart it.
And then what a common factor is.
All right, class.
Yes.
So, we have our common multiples and common factors. Anybody want to explain to the whole group one more time what is a common factor?
It's the common ones. Wait, what?
You ready? You want to go for it? Okay.
It's all I got was it's a common.
Okay, what does common mean? What do we mean by common?
It's like common to the others.
Okay. Something to add to that.
It's when the numbers have something in common.
Okay.
Like 12 and 10 both have 2 as one of their factors.
Excellent. So a common factor means that they've got factors that are the same. Two different numbers have factors that are the same. Common multiple is two different numbers that have multiples that are the same. All right? So, today we're going to do some problems having to do with a Ferris wheel. All right, so here's our problem here. Jeremy and his sister, his little sister Deborah, are at a carnival. They are both large, and there are both a large and a small Ferris wheel. Jeremy gets on the large Ferris wheel at the same time as his sister gets on a small Ferris wheel. The rides begin at the same time. For each situation below, decide how many seconds will pass before Jeremy and Deborah are both at the bottom again. Okay? So we've got two different Ferris wheels, and they take a different amount of time to go around. We're going to try and figure out when they're going to be at the bottom at the same time. So for instance, for this first one, the large wheel makes one revolution in 60 seconds. And the small wheel makes one revolution in 20 seconds. So kind of to visualize what we're talking about here, here's our Ferris wheel, okay, our big one, and our little one. So our big one is going to take 60 seconds to get all the way around. And our little one is going to take 20 seconds to get all the way around. So if we've got a 60 seconds and a 20 seconds, how are we going to find out when they are going to be at the bottom at the same time? What do you guys think? Okay, let's just look at one of these. After how many seconds is this going to be back at the bottom? Yes?
60.
It's going to be at 60. Okay, when's the next time it's going to be at the bottom? Yes?
20.
20?
60.
What?
If you're talking about the small one.
The big one.
Oh.
When's the next time? So it's going to be around in 60 seconds. When's it going to come around again? Go ahead.
112.
Close. Go ahead.
120.
120, because it's going to take 60 seconds and then another 60 seconds, that's 120. Okay, how about this little guy? When's it going to come around the first time, Emma?
30. No. 20.
Okay, it's going to come around in 20 seconds. Then when's it going to come around again? Go ahead, Mason.
40.
It's going to come around at 40. And then when's it going to come around again? Yes.
60.
60. Okay, so when are they going to be at the bottom at the same time? What's the first time that they're both going to be at the bottom of the Ferris wheel? Yes?
When they both start.
Well, when they both start, they're both going to be at the bottom. But when's the next time? Yes?
If but for them, the small Ferris wheel would be 3 times around and then the one.
Yeah, after this one's gone 3 times around, after 60 seconds, this one's going to be at the bottom, and the first time around for this one, right? So that's the first time that they are going to be at the bottom at the same time. All right, so I'm going to go ahead and leave off on this lesson, unless there are other questions. What questions do you have about finding when they're going to be at the bottom at the same time? Yes?
Can we talk about common multiples and common factors just one more time?
Okay, one more time on common factors and common multiples. Common factors are basically when we've got two different numbers, say let's go 20 and 10. Their common factors are the numbers that are factors of both of these numbers. So what are the factors of 20?
10.
10 and 1.
2.
Okay, what else have we got?
And 4.
Okay, what else?
20 and 1.
Is that all of them?
Yep.
Let's go through sequentially. 1 is a factor, 2 is a factor, is 3 a factor? Is 4 a factor?
Yes.
Is 5 a factor? Okay, but we've already got that one on the list, so we've got all of them, right? Okay, now how about for 10? Is 1 a factor? Okay, 1 times 10, right? Is 2 a factor?
Yes.
Okay.
5.
2 times 5, is 3 a factor?
No.
Is 4 a factor? Is 5 a factor?
Yes.
Okay, but 5 is already on the list, so we've got all of our factors. So looking at our factors here, if we're trying to find the common factors, what numbers are on both of those lists? McKenna.
2 and 5.
Okay, we got 2. We got 5. Anything else? Yes. 10. Anything else? Yes.
1.
We've got 1. So those are our common factors. Okay? Now for common multiples, we're going to do the same thing, except for we're not going to be able to list all of the multiples, are we? We're just going to have to list until we kind of decide to stop, right? Okay, so if we wanted to find the common multiples of 20 and 10, we're going to start listing off their multiples. So the multiples of 20. Start listing some off. What's a multiple of 20? Starting from the beginning. Go ahead.
2.
No, 20 isn't or 2 isn't a multiple of 20. Yes.
And 1.
Nope, 1 isn't a multiple of 20. Multiples are when we can count by that number and the numbers that we actually come up with. Yes.
40.
Okay, we actually start with 20. We got 20, 40, yes, 60, 80, and we can kind of keep going on, right? Yes. Go to 100, and so on. And then as we list the ones of 10, what do we start off with? Yes.
10.
Okay, so we got 10,
20.
20,
30.
30,
40.
40,
50.
50,
60.
60, and we could go on and on forever, right? So our common multiples are the ones that are on both of these lists. So what have we got on both of these lists? Yes.
20 and
20,
40
40,
and 60.
60. Is 80 going to be on there too?
Yeah.
Yeah, it is, isn't it? So those are common multiples. Okay. Common factors are the factors that are on both of the lists. Common multiples are the multiples that are on both of the lists. Did I clarify your question?
Yep.
What other questions do we have concerning this? No other questions? All right, then I'm going to go ahead and conclude this lesson. And if you'd like to start on this, you can get a point for doing those problems. Okay? All right. You can turn that off.